Hi, this is another video by thehealthyway.in. This time the question is, am I a diabetic? As soon as you have your blood glucose tested and the numbers are not to your liking or to the liking of your doctor, a person is worried, the question arises, am I a diabetic? This time we'll have a look at the tests that are conducted and the parameters which define whether one is a diabetic or not. Whether you are aware or not, diabetes is no less a pandemic than the coronavirus currently going on. It affects or is likely to affect almost 1/3 of the global population sooner than later. A small disclaimer that we would like to add is that this is not meant to be a substitute for the medical advice that you may receive from your doctor. Please consult him if there is any situation that warrants his attention. Thank you. Now let's understand some of the basic blood tests which are done for a diagnosis of diabetes. The first one on the chart is the blood glucose test. This can be performed at home on a blood glucose meter, but better thing is to get it done through a lab because blood meters, the home meters, are pretty inaccurate. So there are different times when these tests can be performed. The first one is fasting. Fasting means that you shouldn't have eaten or had anything for at least the past 8 hours. Second, you can do a blood test for your blood glucose at random. Random, of course, means at any given time. Thirdly, the postprandial test. This is, prandial means after a meal. So once you've had a meal, you can check. Normally the medical profession likes to look at this number at 2 hours after your meal. I would say have a 1 hour and a 2 hour both, as they have different meanings and have better insights to offer. The second test on the chart is OGTT, which means oral glucose tolerance test. In this case, a 75 gram glucose load is given to the patient. Prior to that, he should have had nothing, and after the 75 gram load, then you can test the blood sugar at 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever the medical practitioner prescribes. When I do it for people, I prefer to have a reading at every 30 minutes after the 75 gram glucose load has been consumed. Then the third test that we want to talk about is a very important test. Here it is shown as HbA1c. Hb stands for hemoglobin. So it is also referred to as hemoglobin A1c, or the better technical name is glycated hemoglobin. Hemoglobin consists of various types of cells, A, B, C, so on and so forth. And then there are subtypes, A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, like that. There are many different types of cells within the hemoglobin. The A1 type of cell in the hemoglobin has this tendency to attract glucose, and the glucose sits piggyback on this cell, and therefore it's a good medium to find out what is the person's blood sugar level. The A1c test is can be performed at any time because it is not the blood glucose reading for that moment. Rather, it's a 3 to 4 month average of how much blood glucose is there in your blood. The normal that is seen is that the A1c, approximately 5% of the cells have glucose stuck on them. So naturally, if you are running higher glucose numbers throughout the day, more number of A1 cells will tend to have the glucose stuck on them, and therefore this particular cell is classified as A1c. one thing to note about this is that your hemoglobin life is around 3 to 4 months, and therefore this test reveals what your blood sugar has been for the past 3 to 4 months. This is all about the test. Once your diagnosis is over, then the doctor may consider ordering further tests to rule out the autoimmune types of diabetes, and for that more tests are to be performed. We'll talk about them at a later time. Now that you've understood some of the tests associated with a diagnosis of diabetes, I want to present to you a chart which may be very complicated in the beginning, but you may download this and refer to it at leisure. This comes from a 2001 study by a Dr. Mayer Davidson, who is a professor at the UCLA School of Medicine in California. According to me, in my opinion, the parameters that Dr. Davidson has used are very lenient, and I would like them to be stricter. But nevertheless, we stick to the school of thought which is currently in use, and let's have a look at this chart. So what this basically shows is, to the left of the chart you can see that when a fasting blood glucose test is performed, and if your level is below 110, you can immediately be declared a non-diabetic. Come to the second level, the middle level, which is the danger zone, where your fasting is between 100 and 140. In such a case, the first step is then to perform the A1C test. Once the results of your A1C tests are known, then two things can be determined. If it is below 7%, you can be declared as pre-diabetic or glucose intolerant. If it is higher than 7%, then you repeat the A1C test again. Once you re-repeat it, if again you are above 7%, then you are a confirmed diabetic. But if your test is below 7%, you may or may not, at your own choice, have this A1C test performed for the second time, and again if it is confirmed that your test is below 7%, you can be considered to be pre-diabetic or glucose intolerant. Coming to the right side section, this is where the dangerous parts are. If your fasting blood sugar is over 140 milligrams, then as a safety measure, you perform the fasting test again, just to be sure. Second time, if your fasting sugar is below 140, you may be declared intolerant and go into the pre-diabetic label. But if it is again over 140, then you are a confirmed diabetic. Be careful that these tests should not be performed too soon. There should be at least a week or 2 weeks time between the tests to be performed. Now what happens if you're below 140? Then, just to be doubly sure, you perform the HbA1c all over again. Now if you come below the level of 7%, you can be declared as pre-diabetic, glucose intolerant, and if it is above 7%, then I'm sorry, you're a diabetic. Whether I agree with these parameters or not is a question we will probably look at again during the making of further videos. For now, this is it. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much.